Welcome back, Whistle Watchers. What about that for a weekend of test match rugby? Some very enjoyable lineups. The Springboks against Portugal. So plenty to talk about. Let's get into it. Now, first of all, congratulations, a huge congratulations to Holly Davison refereeing her first Tier 1 test match. And what a game to do it as well. The Springboks against Portugal, who are also playing each other for the first time ever. So congratulations, Holly. Well done on a very truly and well-deserved achievement. So let's explain the André Esterhuizen red card. It's a tough one because a lot of you, probably most of you, are thinking that the red card is harsh, but there are a lot of you who think that the red card is justified. So let's look at what happens. First of all, we have to determine, do we have foul play? Now, an upright tackle is not illegal. It's only illegal and becomes foul play if you don't make a clear attempt to wrap and there is contact with the shoulder to the head or the head to the head. Then you will have foul play. Now, if you have an upright tackle, so player does everything legal, he goes to grasp an opponent upright, and there is no contact with the head, so no shoulder to head, no head to head, then we don't have foul play. So this decision, although it's a very, very difficult one to decide on, it is quite simple when you've decided on what you actually have seen. So if you feel there is head contact, then you do have a pretty clear, straightforward red card. We have a player who's on the ground and unconscious. So wrap it all up to you as simple as and quickly as I possibly can. The officials on the day felt that they had enough, that there was head contact, and therefore we have landed up with a red card. So there we go. Very difficult one, isn't it? Now, in the same game, we have the Croc roll, which results in a yellow card. Went to the bunker and remained on the yellow card. So we discussed a lot. Everybody's been discussing the Croc roll since we brought it in to make it illegal because it's a dangerous action in the game, which we don't want to see. So we do have a grasp and we do have a twist of the Croc roll action, which brings him to the ground. So therefore, we reach the threshold of a yellow card. It then goes to the bunker. Now, just remember, just like head contact, just like a high tackle, just like any foul play, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a red card. You have to look at the actual facts and actually what happens. So on this instance, we do have foul play, we do have the Croc roll. It goes to the bunker. They feel that it doesn't reach the threshold of a red card. It is foul play, it is a Croc roll, it is dangerous, but the yellow card is sufficient on this occasion. Last week, remember, we highlighted the actions of the Croc roll on Malcolm Marx in the game against Ireland, and it could have easily been a red card. So here again, the clear message to the players is get out of the habit of doing those Croc rolls. They are dangerous. They are also illegal. We don't want to see them in the game. Let's get it out of the game and let's make the game as safe as we possibly can. Now, let's head over to Santiago, where the All Blacks were playing Fiji, and Caleb Clark thought he scored a try, but it was chalked off via the TMO. And this is why. So what you have, Scott Barrett in the clear out. If you come in and you clear somebody out and you take them too far, so you could be taking them 2 or 3 meters away, hence you're carrying on outside the close proximity and taking them far away, or you're coming in, you're taking somebody out who's not in close proximity, so you're taking a would-be defender out, then that is an illegal action. What that does, it takes a player out of the defense line and can open up the space. So here what we see in the dynamics of the game, the team of 3 on the field didn't see it, or may just have thought they saw something but didn't see it clearly enough. And this is where the TMO process is good. It comes in, they look at it, and it's a pretty clear, straightforward decision then that there is foul play by Scott Barrett, and the try is quite rightly chalked off. Let's head over to the Southern Hemisphere then again to Australia, where they were hosting Georgia. Now then, what we have here, we have Filippo Dungunu, yellow card, upgraded via the bunker to a red for contact knee to head. Very similar to what we discussed in episode 2, if you remember, with Afili Fassi, but this one is slightly different because it's the knee to the head. So when you're going to charge down the ball, you have to be in a realistic position to get that ball. So what we have here, we have a jump in the air to try and charge down. You don't get the ball, and then and it doesn't have to mean that you may well still touch the ball, but because your actions are reckless and dangerous, and then you turn your body and you make contact with the hip, knee, or whatever into the head of the player, then we are reaching the threshold of then foul play. Gets the yellow card, goes to the bunker, and quite rightly so, the action is reckless, it is dangerous, it is foul play, and it most certainly is a red card. Now then, let's head back to South Africa to the under-20s, which has been a very, very exciting tournament, and I'm sure we'll see many of those young players for their senior sides in the future as well. And Fiji against Spain, a lot riding on this one because the losing side then would be moved to the trophy next year. And here we saw the new trial as well, which is if it's a draw at the end of the game, so it's deadlock, it's 19 all, and at the end of normal time, it means we're going into extra time, and the first team to score wins. It can be any type of score, drop goal, penalty, or a try. And look at the scenes here where Spain's David Jalejo, I hope I said that right, David, scored in the 93rd minute of play to take the win. Congratulations to them. What a way to finish, eh? Now, my favourite part of the week, which is Emirates Fan Questions. And last week, I asked you for some ideas onto naming some of the bulls. So, if you have any recommendations for a bull starting with the letter C, let me know. Nigel, you should obviously be naming these cows after rugby players. And for the bulls, how about Cullen? That's a good one. Is that Leo or Christian Cullen? Carter. Oh, I'll have to find a good-looking bull to name him Carter. And Castro Giovanni. That's a good one. I'll have to find the biggest bull to name him and then not cut his hair. It's got to be Cowan Dickey for the bull, starting with C. That's a good one. And the bull calf has to be, I like this one, Christopher? I wonder if Nigel Owens is planning on raising props on the farm. Isn't it there where most of the world's best props come from? Oz and Ox are good examples. Yes, and if you go back here to West Wales, back into the late 80s, into most of the 90s, you had the legendary Neath front row. Three farmers from Pembrokeshire, John Davis, the late Brian Williams, and Kevin Phillips. And what a front row they were. So yeah, I think being manual workers on the farm does help with the natural body strength. So traditionally, a lot of rugby players do come from a farming background, and particularly front rows as well. It must be due with a lot of the bacon and egg they have at breakfast every morning. And that's it. Thank you, as always, for your Emirates Fans Questions. I really do enjoy answering them. Now, let's have a look at who impressed in the most recent test matches. Now then, there were many standout performances on the weekend, and some of your views may differ to mine, but let's have a look at the top 4 according to the stats. Not often do I get to talk about an Olympian on the programme, but an Olympian back in 2020 with the Argentina Sems. Ignacio Mendy is starting to make a name for himself in the 15-a-side game now as well, and he carried an incredible 236 metres in Argentina's big win over Uruguay, scoring a hat-trick as well in the process. Tonike Jalogonia, the Georgian flanker, had a monumental performance in Georgia's loss to Australia, and he made 27 tackles, the most of any player in the internationals on the weekend. And he didn't even get to play the full 80. So imagine how many tackles he'd have made if he'd played the full 80. And he missed only 2 tackles. That is some record. So an amazing performance by him. Raimundo Martinez and Simiao Bento. Now, one thing about these 4 players, you notice, they are very, very difficult names for me to pronounce. 2 young players stating their claim, both top international rugby turnovers on the weekend with 3 turnovers. Martinez, the 24-year-old Chilean back row, made all 3 of his turnovers from Jackals, and the young number 8 is definitely one to watch. And then the Portuguese fullback, Simão Bento, he also made 3 turnovers as well to join the top list with Martinez. The 23-year-old won his turnovers through jackals and 1 through a tackle as well. So there were another exciting prospect there. One thing as well, whilst you're on the stats and most promising players, I remember a young referee a few years ago coming on the scene as one of the young promising referees, and he didn't disappoint as well. A good friend and been a refereeing colleague for many, many years. Mathieu Raynal, retiring on the big 5-0. He officiated in 8 Guinness Men's Six Nations, in 5 Rugby Championships and 2 Men's Rugby World Cups, as well as 2 British and Irish Lions tours. Some record that, isn't it? Congratulations on a wonderful career and all the best for the future as well. And that's it. That's it for this week. And that's it for this series. As always, thank you very much for watching. It's very much appreciated. And I hope that I'll see you again soon to discuss some of rugby's big talking points. But until then, bye-bye.